You may know that this guy right here, Jackie Robinson, was the first African American player in Major League history, but I bet you didn't know that he actually played semi-professional football for the Honolulu Bears in 1942. And he actually played his last game just 2 days before the attacks on Pearl Harbor on December 5th. So now that you know that, let's get into this week's episode of This Piece of History. We're on week 6, and you know I had to bring a big one. We're going to go with this right here. This is none other than an autograph from Jackie Robinson. So Jackie Robinson, of course, was the first African-American player in the major leagues. He broke the color barrier on April 15th, 1947 with the Brooklyn Dodgers. And he had not the longest career, but he had a very meaningful career. He was the Rookie of the Year in 1947. He was the league MVP in 1949, and he was a World Series champ in 1955. After his career was said and done, he was the first African-American player to get enshrined in Cooperstown, and that was in 1962. So now that you know that, I'm going to share a little bit about this autograph. So I was able to pick this up at a sports card show back in early September, and I was actually walking into the show, and I was hoping I could pick something like this up. I wanted to pick up a very historical piece of memorabilia, but also something that kind of like aligned with my sports collection too. So I figured, who's better than that than Jackie Robinson? I was walking the show all day, and right as I was about to leave the show, within the last 30 minutes, I stumbled upon a table, and there was somebody who had this. I think that there was a sticker of like $2,500 on it, which to me was not that bad of a price, but I thought that I could have done better. And after a little bit of negotiating back and forth, I talked the initial owner down to, I think it was like $2,200 or so. So I got into it for that. I feel like that was a very fair price for probably the most important sports figure in the history of professional sports, honestly. And it's been in my collection ever since. And this is a piece that I will for sure never sell. This is by far the coolest thing I have. Like, I don't know what could even top that. So I've got that. And then a couple other Jackie Robinson pieces of memorabilia I have is I've got a flawless card of him. This is numbered out of 15, and it's got a piece of a ruby inside of it. And I just think flawless is so cool. It's like the highest end set Panini makes. And, you know, just a cool card of Jackie Robinson. But now on to these two. First, my favorite Topps card ever made. This is the 1953 Topps Jackie Robinson. And as you can see, some kid probably taped this to his wall back in the 50s and had it on his wall. And I just think it's really cool because, first of all, it's the first card in the set. The first card in Topps sets is always a big deal. Who's going to get the first card? I'm guessing next year will be Shohei Ohtani. But in this year, 1953, Jackie Robinson got that honor. And this is my favorite Topps card of all time. I just think the artwork's amazing. And as you can see in the background, you've got Ebbets Field behind him, where he played a lot of his home games with the Brooklyn Dodgers. So that's one extra, just little fun Jackie piece of memorabilia I have. And my other favorite piece of Jackie is right here. This is a 1955 Topps. And the reason I like this card so much is because I would say this is one of the cards that got me into collecting as a kid. I remember, so this was my dad's card. He found it at a thrift store in the 90s, and I think he paid like $20 for it. As you can see, it's kind of beat up right there. It's missing a little bit of the side. It's got a hole right there, but it's really cool. This is the card that my dad found in the 90s, and it's always been a card that I've kind of just kept in my collection. It really is one of those cards that got me into collecting, and I think it's so cool. It was the second to last year of Jackie's career. And this was actually the year that he won the World Series, so even cooler to have that little additional piece of information, just knowing that he won the World Series the year this card came out. This has always been in my case, and it will probably always be a card that I'll keep. So those were my two Topps Jackies. I'd love to do the run of Topps. Obviously, Topps 1952 is getting a little expensive, and then his Leaf 48, and then his two Bowmans of 49.50, and I think he had 51 Bowman too. But maybe I'll do that someday. But if not, those are my three other pieces of Jackie memorabilia, and this was my signed Jackie Robinson cut autograph. So thank you guys for watching, and if you enjoyed this, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. I got a lot more of these videos coming out, so stay tuned, and we got more stuff coming in the future.